the execution I need. And, they're not really an opponent of mine. Obviously, I have a lot of friends there, a lot of great relationships, but they've been focused on what they need to do, and I've been trying to focus on what my job is.
Yeah, he's like, I'm cold down here shopping for new cribs in the sunshine. Stop me if you heard this before. The Falcons blew a lead. Tom Brady led an impressive 17-point comeback against the Falcons in the second half, but he still can't avoid the questions, obviously, about how his ex-team is doing. Max Kellerman, has Tom Brady proven that he actually needed to leave New England?
No, he has not. How many games did he win last year? He ain't going to win 12 games this year. No, he has not proven that. There is real value in staying with a franchise as an iconic player. Look at Derek Jeter or Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan. One franchise their entire career. And I think it's likely, had Brady stayed in New England, they'd have a better record than they have right now. And their record ain't that bad. It's 2 games below 500, a couple plays away from being significantly better than that. And I think Brady probably would have made those plays. No, I don't think he'd be better, that he's proven anything other than if you give him an embarrassment of riches, if you give any solid NFL quarterback that Bucs team, Jameis gave the other team 30 interceptions, 112 points over the course of the season. Everyone knew you just replace that with the guy who's going to take care of the ball. They're going to win a couple extra games, and they won 7 games last year. And Brady gives you a premium over that, sure. But what does it prove? Does it prove he needed to leave New England? No, look, if Tom Brady in these playoffs makes it to, say, the NFC Championship game, the way Joe Montana in his post-Niners career made it to the AFC Championship game with the Chiefs, quarterbacking the Chiefs. If Brady does something like that, I think he will have proved that point. But we haven't played the playoffs yet. We don't know what's going to happen. And if he does that at that point, maybe I'll sing a different tune. At this point, no. All we know is he's going to have a worse record than he had last year as the Patriots quarterback.
He proved that he needed to leave New England the moment he signed with Tampa Bay. Had he signed with another team that didn't have any weapons and he just went to them instead of staying with Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniel, and the New England Patriots, you would have a point. But the second he signed on, and he had Mike Evans, and he had Chris Godwin, and he had O.J. Howard at the time, and Cameron Brate, and that was before he acquired Rob Gronkowski and Antonio Brown, all right, and Leonard Fournette, by the way, okay? Before all of that, this dude had Ronald Jones with Evans and Godwin and Brate and O.J. Howard when he first signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That in and of itself, that moment proved that he needed to leave New England because of what he was saying. I'm a quarterback. I want to be able to throw the football. I want to have people to throw the football to. And no one has accused the New England Patriots of having those requisite weapons. We know that they're exceptionally well coached. They're exceptionally well organized. We know the familiarity and the relationship and chemistry between Josh McDaniel and Tom Brady. We also know that they always have personnel on the defensive side of the ball, and offensively they can run the football, and they have Mr. O Reliable in Julian Edelman. But the bottom line is when you look at their wideouts, when you look at what they have available to them, okay, particularly once Rob Gronkowski retired because he just didn't want to be there any longer, the fact that he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were loaded with weapons, that was the moment he showed you he needed to leave New England. Because it wasn't just about being there and being the quarterback. It was about having fun playing the quarterback position because of the people that you have available to throw the football to. That's the difference. That's what I say about it.
Well, if you read the question, like he proved he needed to leave New England as Brady needs more, then yeah, he does need more because he is in decline. But I will point out that there are different, and if he wants to have fun throwing to receivers, fine. But I will point out there are different ways to lead a team and to quarterback a team and to get to the promised land. And I don't believe that Brady wins a Super Bowl on this Bucs team, and I don't think it's because it's the rest of the team. I think Brady is still a good quarterback, which is amazing at his age. I don't think he's an elite quarterback, and that speaks to you pointing out how much help he needs. But the bottom line is, on a defense first and run on offense kind of team, Brady won 12 games. They lost that last game of the season to Miami. They lost in the playoffs to Tennessee. but he won more games last year playing quote-unquote no-fun football with Bill Belichick without those weapons than he is going to this year on a team with so many receivers he doesn't even know, where to throw the ball. It's such an embarrassment of riches and talent on the defense. And that's the truth.
Well, listen. When you talk about the question itself, has Tom Brady proven he needed to leave New England? When you talk about that, Max, you're talking about things that he could do to contribute to winning. Excuse me. The man has 6 Super Bowl rings. He had 9 Super Bowl appearances in 18 years. So if anybody has earned the right to want to win a way different than how he had been winning, who's earned that more than Tom Brady? So if Tom Brady decides, okay, I did it your way, I did it from a system perspective, I did it with this same coordinator, I did it with this same head coach, I did it despite the fact that there's plenty of years that you asked me to go out there and come to the rescue because of what we didn't have. What's wrong with him saying, hey, I've now reached the point where I'm older and I want these weapons, these toys to play with on a football field the way some other quarterbacks have had it? What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. If that's his goal, is to go out there and have fun and see if he can win that way, there's nothing wrong with it.
And
but has he proven he needed to leave? Stephen A., if he gets, he don't have to win it. If he gets to the NFC Championship game, I stand down. He proved his point. He ain't there yet.
All right. You heard what Frank Sinatra said. I'm doing it my way. Please, he's down there in Florida. He's got his boys with him. He's living his best life, Max, as we're freezing our behinds
no state
up here.
Income tax.
Guys, right, there's a lot of reasons to be happy down there. More first take.
That we'd seen who made no-name receivers and a bunch of guys look spectacular throughout his career was no longer there. He was missing guys every way you could miss a guy last year. And in a game they needed to win against Miami to get that first-round bye, they lost, and then they lost in the playoffs. And I know he didn't have weapons, but many times Tom Brady didn't have weapons, and he turned them into weapons, right? Because he was the weapon in the second half of his career, especially, when he became truly like the greatest of all time, right? That hasn't been him recently. Now, we all knew what was going to happen when he went to Tampa this year. He was going to look good, or the best version of himself, because he went to an ideal situation. He went to a situation with receivers everywhere, and then he brought Gronk, and now he's getting AB. A defense that was already excellent and seems to have improved, and a team where with Jameis Winston, who threw 30 interceptions for 112 points to the other team. With Jameis Winston, they won 9 games. If you just take Jameis Winston out and put in a quarterback that throws 15 interceptions, they probably win at least 9 games instead of the 7, right? And if you put in a guy a little better than that, that's a double-digit win team. I agree Brady's looked good, especially recently as the season has worn on. There's no question, better than I anticipated he'd look on some of these throws. His circumstances have a lot to do with it. If you put Jimmy Garoppolo or Teddy Bridgewater, for example, quarterbacks whose talent isn't jumping out at anyone, but they're good, right? They can play. On a team like this, what do you think the record would be? Would it be appreciably different? Would we think much different, or forget about how we think about them? What would the results have been? That's my point. Brady is in a perfect situation, and to his credit, he is making the most of it.
I passed my time to Brian Clark.
You yield your time.
I'm not
from LSU.
I meant what I said when I said it early in the show. I will not entertain any drivel from Max Kellerman about Tom Brady.
That's fine. I win.
You haven't won. You lost for the last 4 years.
I win.
It's pathetic that he's making this argument. I'm upset at you, Molly, for not holding him to the carpet even harder. I think you've been entirely too kind to Max Kellerman. He has embarrassed himself for 4.5 years talking about Tom Brady and is going to sit up here with a straight face like, oh, I was wrong yesterday, or I was wrong last month. He's been wrong for 4.5 years.
3 straight Super Bowls.
Okay,
it's
Tom Brady, the last 2 seasons was clearly not the same as 2 seasons before that.
Once again, can't take it.
I thought you were done talking about it.
Boston.
I told you weren't.
Please, I'm going to ask the city of Boston a favor. Do it for me. I'm done talking with him about it. The city of Boston, you have the clips. You have the footage. You saw how he is. You see how hypocritical he's being now. Ryan Clark, take it away. I ain't talking about Tom Brady with Max no more. I'm not doing it.
After you just talked about Tom Brady with Max.
I would say this, Max.
You got him to talk about it again, no Max. So you did at least win in that case, but you can't win with this Tom Brady argument. Because here's what Tom Brady did to me that's impressive. Here's why he didn't hit the cliff. I think this is part of what you never anticipated about Tom Brady, was that when you watch Tom Brady, it was never actually his